Since I started playing Warlock, I always wanted to have a build focused around Nova Bomb. The super just makes you feel like a true destructive wizard. This build lets you spam your Nova Bomb, keep Devour active 24/7 and throw grenades like Shaxx himself is screaming in your ear. And honestly, it ended up feeling even better than I expected. Let's take a look. For the exotic armor, Skull of Dire Ahamkara. If we're committing to Nova Bomb, we're doing it right. When casting Nova Bomb, it gives you a massive damage resistance starting at 99.5% and dropping down to 75% near the end of the animation. Every enemy kill you get with Nova Bomb refunds around 5% super energy up to a maximum of 50%. And what really makes this build feel so satisfying, Devour also boosts your super energy gain. I would have loved to include the exact numbers here, but sadly I couldn't find them. I just know it stacks very nicely. For the super, obviously we're going Nova Bomb. The slow traveling, tracking void ball that deals massive impact damage. Then splits into 6 seekers that track down the leftovers. Small bonus tip, you can actually shoot your own Nova Bomb to manually detonate it earlier. For the class ability, it depends if you want to stay mobile or hold a defensive position. Phoenix Dive. Quick drop applies cures ×2, which is 120 instant HP heal. My personal favorite, because I like moving around and playing aggressive. Or you can go Healing Rift. Classic stationary healing over time if you prefer a safer playstyle. For the melee, we're gonna go with K-Needle. We will be using them mainly to activate Devour. Gets up to 3 charges and hitting enemies applies Unravel. As for the grenade, you can go any you like. Since we will be using an aspect that consumes our grenade, it doesn't really matter. If you do want to utilize your grenade, since you will get it back really quickly, equip the one you like most. For the aspects, the very first one is Feed the Void. Ability kills trigger Enhanced Devour, which is a massive 200 HP heal per kill. Every Devour kill restores grenade energy. For red bars is 15%, for orange bars 23.2%, for yellow bars between 27.5 and 40%. Each kill gives you back 5 seconds to Devour to a maximum of 10 seconds. For the second aspect, we're gonna go Bleak Watcher. Hold grenade button to create a stasis turret. Fires 5 slow seeking projectiles and applies ×20 slow per shot. Bleak Watcher lasts 25 seconds. If an enemy gets frozen by Bleak Watcher, you can still refresh your Devour by killing them with your weapons, but don't use your base melee punch. For the fragments. For the first one, we're gonna go Facet of Ruin. Shattering frozen enemies triggers an additional damage instance. For the second one, Facet of Balance. Land 3 eliminations within 3 seconds to get 10% melee or grenade energy, depending if you kill with light or darkness damage. Then Facet of Courage, light abilities deal 10% more damage against darkness debuffed enemies. Like when we unravel targets with Arcane Needle before sending a Nova Bomb their way. For the fourth, Facet of Grace. Kinetic weapon kills grant 2% additional Transcendence energy. Might not sound massive, but trust me, with the weapon we are using, it actually adds up surprisingly fast. For the last one, Facet of Purpose. Picking up orbs grants subclass buffs. In our case, Void Overshield, which is a 70% damage reduction, while the Void Shield is active. If you want easier debuff chains or faster class ability recharge, you could swap Facet of Courage for Facet of Solitude or Facet of Hope, depending on your playstyle. Let's get to the weapons. For the kinetic slot, Bad Juju is absolute key here. Kills refill the magazine. Each kill grants string of curses, stacking up to 5 times at max stacks. That's 100% bonus weapon damage boost and 2% super energy per kill. I always liked the look of Bad Juju, but I never really gave it a real shot. Turns out it's an absolute monster for super spam and act clearing. For the energy slot, I personally run Aberrant Action for extra healing, but you could also equip Lotus Eater if you want an easy overshield. Really up to the activity and what buffs you want. For the heavy slot, use whatever feels best for activity. I normally run Edge Transit for the memories. For the armor stats and mod setup. For the overall stats, I'd focus on resilience, discipline, intellect, and then recovery. We have Devour, so recovery won't be too important. For the helmet, we're gonna equip ×3 kinetic siphon, scoring 2 kills within 3 seconds of each other with a kinetic weapon. Spawns an Orb of Power granting 4.4% super energy with 3 copies. For the arms, ×1 bolstering detonation, which will give us 12% class ability energy when causing damage with our grenade. and ×1 grenade kickstart with 1 mod and 4 armor charges. That's 38.4% grenade energy back on use. If you want to prioritize getting a class ability back, you could equip 3 copies of Austrian Detonation for 20% class ability. I wouldn't go into mods for power melee since we get really good grenade recharge, so build around grenades. As for the chest, charged up, you can have 4 instead of 3 armor charges and then any resistance mods you need. For the legs, ×1 absolution on orb pickup grants 5% melee, grenade and class ability energy. And then 1 stacks on stacks. Picking up an orb gives you now 2 armor charges instead of 1. If you don't care for the class ability, you could equip Innovation or Invigoration for 10% grenade or melee energy. Insulation, the mod for class ability recharge on orb pickup, only gives 6% for 3 copies. So 1 absolution with 5% for all abilities is definitely a better pick. As for the class ability, Powerful Attraction. Collect any orb in 12.5 meter radius when using your class ability. Then Bomber, 12% grenade energy when using your class ability. And Distribution, 4% grenade, melee and class ability, plus 2% super energy on class ability use. Again, depending on what you want to focus on, you could go ×2 Bomber for 17% grenade energy or add Outreach for 17% melee energy with 2 copies. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. You can find the dim link for the build in the description below. I really hope you give the build a try. Nova Bomb spam is ridiculously fun and the Devour loop makes it even better. Have a great day, morning, evening or afternoon, whatever your time zone is, and I hope I catch you next time.